So thank you all for joining us. I really appreciate it. We like to always start these webinars on time. And thank you,
Show your
Cheri.
face. You want to show your face? There you are.
Me and
Thanks.
my ceiling fan right there.
Partners in crime. Yep.
So
Right.
we're going to be recording this presentation, as you probably already noticed. And it will take a couple days for us to process this, and then we'll make sure to email it out to you all. Um, your audio and video are muted. So Cheri is not able to hear or see you, and please be sure to keep your microphone and camera on mute. You may ask any questions through the Q&A button if you haven't already registered them. There will be time for us to address those questions at the end of the program and at the halfway point. Use a chat button if you're having trouble and you need some troubleshooting. Don't see anybody there yet. So I want to introduce Cheri. Man, she is my guru. Just have to tell you that.
Oh,
She is
thanks.
founder of Hannah Gold Communications. She has 30 plus years in the marketing industry, serving all types of organizations from nonprofits to education to small startup businesses. She volunteers as a marketing consultant to the South Haven Regional Business Hub team and as a volunteer with SCORE as a mentor, presenter, and marketing consultant. She provides small businesses and marketing communication strategy and support for website development, social and digital marketing, email marketing, graphic design, event planning, and is a certified high achieving Grow with Google partner and a constant contact top producing partner. Um, and here are, so I'm with the executive director of the South Haven Region Business Hub. Happy that Cheri has contributed and donated her time to present this program. She has presented all this and done all these graphics for us. Our mission is to make the South Haven region a place where entrepreneurs want to start and grow. Our guiding principles are combining collective knowledge. We all can't do this alone, but we want to do it collectively with our knowledge, connections, and resources of the community, creating initiatives and partnerships for all local entrepreneurs. And our target audience is small businesses throughout the South Haven region. So we're glad you all could join us here today. And with that, take it away, Cheri.
You bet.
I'm muting
Hi.
myself
Yes,
and my video.
please. It's okay, great. As Debbie said, I'm a Grow with Google partner, which is how I am able to bring you this webinar today. As a Grow with Google partner, I'm certified to teach their products. And this is one of my absolute favorite webinars to do because I find it one of the most valuable tools for most small businesses. So our agenda is pretty straightforward. We'll spend about 15, 20 minutes talking about what is a Google Business Profile, now formerly known as Google Plus, then formerly known as Google My Business. Now they're getting really snooty and they're called Google Business Profile. So I will try to get that right, but I may mess up a few times because it has only been a year, right? We'll then talk about, and I'll actually walk you through and show you how to create your own Google Business Profile, which will be pretty handy when you're done with this webinar. Or there will be a link to get started once we go, and you can play along if you want. Then we'll talk about once you've got your Google Business Profile, what do you do with it? Well, you use it like you would any other outgoing communication platform, like a social media, like a Yelp, like a TripAdvisor. You get information on there so that people can find you. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But at the end, I'll offer you some resources in the form of a handout that Debbie, I think, is going to put into the chat, and also some links that will be provided in the chat and also at the end of the webinar. Let's see how good my play button is. This is a great intro for what Google can do. I am a mother of two children, and I was a stay-at-home mom for 9 years. And then one day I said, you know, I want to go back to work and start my own company. I became a licensed contractor and I started Detroit Voltage.
it was a great opportunity for people to see a woman of color doing something that was totally outside of the box. I always ask my customers, what made you call me? And oftentimes they're telling me, oh, we reached out to you because of your business profile on Google. Having a Google profile has had a wonderful impact on my business because it puts me in front of new customers daily. It's a great way to have everything in one central location where the customer can see exactly what you do. Everything is just listed there easily for them to find. The reviews are there, and those reviews are worth their weight in gold. Customers get to understand what type of experience other customers have had with us. When the customer leaves a review, I always respond to the review. It's very important to let the customer know that you care about them. The insights that Google provides are great because I know what customers are interacting with us and from where. And so I know exactly how to speak to the customer because I know where they're coming from and what they will probably be looking for. One of the things that surprised me about having a profile on Google was the new customers that I was able to attract and interact with. There's a lot of traffic that comes from Google, so it's important to have a listing. My hopes and dreams for my business would definitely be being able to create opportunities for other people. You know, it's an honor to be able to serve my community and to leave a legacy for my family as well.
Yeah, and that is the crux of the matter. With a Google business profile, you are likely to be found online for your product or service. Without a Google business profile, your chances are very slim. So let's talk about what even is a Google business profile. So you saw the Detroit Voltage example. I love her. She's just so calm. She's such a great spokesperson. But here we're going to talk about what that actually is. And if you are out driving around or searching on your desktop or searching from your phone or your tablet and you type in electrician in Detroit, if you notice right about here under their name, that's a search phrase. And that's one of the things that they want to be found for is the words electrician in Detroit. And we'll talk about search and SEO as we move on. So then their name is here. There's a place for photos and videos. We have a website link here that can get you right to their website from your cell phone or your laptop or your tablet device. Real easy to find a location. So if you're looking for a parking ramp in downtown Detroit and you enter it in and they have one of these, there will be directions to get you there. So if you are a local business with a brick and mortar or people visit you at your permanent location, this is for you. You can list your hours, your phone number. There's just a ton of things that you can do here, but these are the big ones. So even if you're a small business without a website yet, I have had people go in here, get verified, and use this because as you saw in the quick video, there's a whole list of services that people can shop from that can appear on your Google business profile. So this is the cool thing about, I don't know, say November of 2022, Google said, well, this is kind of silly. When you search on Google search on the desktop or a phone or an iPad, you know, go to that Safari thing and Google pops up, you get results. But when you search on Google Maps, you get results also. So they said, why don't we combine them? And so now your Google business profile, formerly known as Google My Business, can appear on both Google search and Google Maps. All right. So when I'm out looking for tacos near me, this is what I want. This is nice. And I can say, oh, taco shop. I can see that it's open from the hours. I can see, you know, questions and answers. I saw you. I'm going to answer that. But having it on both platforms pretty much puts a lock on you being found. Remember, for the word electrician or electrician in Detroit or whatever your particular keyword phrase is that highlights your business. And this is going to be your business category. They give you like 3 to choose from when you set up a new page. pick one, you could go back and change it later. That's true with almost everything I'm showing you today is you're going to be able to edit. If I can think of something that you can't edit, I'll let you know. Okay, and then again, when you look at your website data analytics, hopefully you have Google Analytics tied to your website, another Google product, and you see that 1% of your target audience came to your website from a device like a tablet or a Kindle, Amazon Fire or a Chromebook, that's an indicator of how things are changing. So typically my clients have had highest, depends on the type of client, business to business clients or like people who work within the business industry or the professional industry typically access their Google searches from a laptop or a desktop. People like me who, do this for a living and run around the country and I use my phone, but I can also use my tablet if I want. And it's the same across platforms. It's just really handy, I think. It wasn't all tied together a little over a year plus ago. So I'm excited about that. And I think it's making the platform easier to use. So have I convinced you that you need a Google business profile? Let me give you a couple of examples. I was contacted by a crane company in Chicago. And this is a story about this on my blog if you happen to go to handofgoldcommunications.com. And he called me after one of these webinars. He goes, I'm just not showing up for Chicago Crane Company. So I dug into his website and I searched for the word Chicago Crane Company. And I dug into his Facebook and his Instagram, and he had all these things going in his LinkedIn. Nowhere did it say the words Chicago Crane Company. And that's what he wanted to be found for. So once he put those words into his, again, everywhere, SEO goes everywhere, or you consider it everywhere. It goes in your Google business profile. It goes on your website so that the two of them agree. So Google goes out and sends its little bots out when somebody types this phrase, how to create a business profile. And they're going to try to match as many words in there as they can. So the story ends up that this little business that wanted to be found for crane in Chicago put those words in their Google business profile and on their website and began being found. How powerful is a Google business profile to a business's marketing plan? Let me explain. Had a company with 2 brew pubs. So it was a little local family-owned chain with 2 brew pubs. And they were big on Yelp. We have to be on Yelp. We have to be on TripAdvisor. We have to be everywhere but Google. They never mentioned Google. And I said, well, do you have a Google business profile? And they said, yeah, but we don't use it. And I said, let's do a little test, shall we? So we did 3 months of testing with their Yelp results for each location and my Google results for each location. And then what happened was their Yelps got 3,000 interactions a piece, which is very cool, right? Well, their Google business profiles got 22 and 24,000 interactions respectively. Which one would you rather have? And to get those Yelp numbers up there, you know this, you got to pay $1 for this and $2 for that. You get the logo pulled off, you get to put your own logo on. So they were spending $15, $16 a month for just maintaining what Google Business Profile will give you for free. Anyway, it's a great platform. I love it. I think you'll enjoy using it if you're not already. Okay, here's the play along button. Google.com/business. I know someone asked about how to find the, let me hide these controls, how to find the Google business profile to work on it, because once they made that change, they changed the interface, which I'm going to show you the new thing, and they also changed the way you access it. Now, you still can go to the top of your Google profile when you're signed in, up here in my top right, and there's a little thing with 9 boxes. You can still get to that business profile by doing that. Otherwise, you just type the name of your business in a Google search bar and it will show up. And it seems like scary, but it's real. Okay, so when you type your business name, I'm going to show you an example. When you type your business name, it's going to show up. And if you don't have a profile, we're going to show you what to do. So you can also use maps.google.com if you want to add a map address. Word of caution here, use your address exactly as Google says it is. And that's really hard for folks because your LLC says one thing, the US Post Office says one thing. But if you are a brick and mortar location and you are at 123 ABC Street, comma, Suite 102, all of those things have to be identical to what Google says they are, or you're not going to be found as often. You will be found. They'll decide that it's probably them. It's probably the right place because most of this matches. But I mean, I'm talking right down to whether you spell out street or use ST or use capital ST or ST period, suite, comma, it's got to be consistent. Start with what Google has for you and make it that way on all your platforms. And that's what this number one option is, to search for your address. We want to go with what they have. Option two, when you see your little Google business profile, there's 3 lines. I'll show you where those are in a minute. It looks like this on the right. And you can click add your business. See this right here? Right click on the map. So you can get to it from maps.google.com or google.com/business. All right, moving on. First thing, sign into your account. If you have, word of caution, if you have more than one Gmail account, let's say you have a personal Gmail account and a business Gmail account like I do, I would make sure that you're signing into the right account where you want to use and manage your Google business profile. And that would be my business email. So I would register my account with Hannah Gold Communications at gmail.com. And then I will log in using that account. If you log in using another account, you're never going to find it. So Cheri Bales at gmail.com, I'm never going to find it because I don't own it. Well, I can find it in search, but I can't edit. So if you're having trouble editing, check and make sure that it's in the right account. If you don't have one, sign up. It's free. First thing you do to find this is, we went to that google.business, is we just type in the name of the business. Again, this is very particular to the LLC or the DBA or the licensure that you have. Google wants to know you are a legit, real business. So make it as close as you can. You may use LLC. You may eliminate LLC. If it actually thinks brings credentialing to your business, I would use it. If you've been in business for 25 years and nobody cares that you're an LLC like me, I don't use it as often, but start with everything. You can always, again, always edit. We can always peer back on this. And then remember, I said that pesky business category for electrician, you're likely to get 3 choices. I had just set up a page for a band that has a local venue and I couldn't get band. I think I got counseling office. Go ahead and do that. They'll figure it out and then you'll get a chance to change it back to what it really is. So you're just going to search for that. Then do we have a location? I got a ton of questions about this and I want to answer them at this point. So if customers visit your location or you do a service business like mine out of your home, I could have people come here for an appointment, in other words. We don't anymore very often. You can have a Google business profile. If you are, I have a whole list here. If you are a food truck, if you are a travel, like a temporary setup here, set up there business, they don't want those. They don't use online stores. You cannot have a strictly e-commerce business, doesn't allow you to have a Google business profile. No farmers market, food trucks, fitness instructors who teach at different fitness salons. I don't know why they got so particular on that. Exemptions, ATMs. Okay. Video rental kiosk. Thank you, Google. I'm sure there's a lot of those. Seasonal businesses. Okay, maybe on an ice rink or, a sledding hill or something. It says they are eligible as long as there is permanent signage year round. So if you have any doubts, when you go to upload your verification documents, whether it's photographs or a copy of your phone bill or your LLC licensure, print out your name of your business and stick it in your window and go take a picture of it, because then you have a physical location. But don't try to skirt it. If you're not qualified, don't try to skirt it, because they will come at you and you won't get to do it right the next time. They just go, no, you're done. So if you only deliver to goods and services, then you would click no here, obviously, and then next. Here you must enter, and this is question 2 in the series, here you must enter your address as it appears on the LLC. My address is my home address. I don't want the world to know that. It's okay. No one's going to see this part of it. And the difference is you're not verified, which means you're not visible to the public. Even later, when we're going to just do stuff and work in the page, you're not verified. You have the chance to go and change this to what they call a service area. This was new, and I love this, because if you look on the left, do you provide deliveries or home and office visits? Yes, I go to clients and I go to businesses, sites and things, so I qualify. And then the areas that I serve is the United States. So I just picked that whole country and put that in there. And then because I have an either or choice, it's either my brick and mortar address or my service area. You don't get both. So that's one of those questions that I get a lot of the time is, I own a business at home and I don't want, people to see it. But you have the option then to include a phone number and a website. Remember, if you don't have a website yet, that's okay. Do not, oh no, I don't think they do. I was going to say, do not create one within the Google platform, because they're flipping over to something else. But if you have a website and you have your business phone number, now we're all talking about here about business contact info. This other stuff was you with your address, your business address and everything, because that was in your name. But here we want the business phone and the business website. Then you get verified. And when you get verified, you get this very cool postcard sometimes in the mail. Sometimes it happens instantaneously. I've been on a roll. I did this webinar back in March, and I had a few folks that wanted to work and get their profiles up. For some reason, me doing it, them driving the bus, and me using my business partnership, they were approved on the spot. So that was kind of fun. And I do have some uplinks with Google. If you're struggling with the rejection or you just can't get it going, you might want to let me know. So the ways to get verified, remember I said you're not verified yet, you can't do anything. Google's going to make sure that you're a real business. They're going to check that LLC. They're going to check that phone bill. They're going to call you or text you. They're going to send you an email to the business address that's on file with you, or you're going to get the cute little postcard. New video, really, really stupid. Sorry, Google. Really, really it's almost exclusionary. So for example, if I'm a massage therapist and I have a studio in my home, for a video confirmation, video verification, you will be required to walk around your home and video the area where you work, any materials or goods that you use, any marketing is where you print out the sign that says the name of your business, any marketing materials that you use, the front of your business so that they can see it's actually a house. There's just a ton of things. So if you get that, if you get this far and you go next and you say verify in another way besides video, you can get support on the line to help you do it. You should only do it with your cell phone. It's not compatible with tablets yet. And don't ask how we found that out, because it wasn't fun. But probably the best way is to have that business phone number and to have that business phone in your hand and ask to get a code for text or phone to get verified. That's probably the speediest way. And if I'm online with customers, with clients, they'll have their phones handy and we'll just knock that out. If you operate a service only business, I think I already mentioned this, you have to enter your true business mailing address. But again, remember, mailing address is not going to be visible to the public. And that's what we like. So waiting for verification, it can be from now, like that quick, up to 14 working days. I've not seen it take that long, but people do miss this in spite of the size and saying, Google in the corner and throw it away thinking that it's, junk mail. So that could happen. And if that happens, you just restart the process and send it in again, and they should be able to handle it. But here's the good news. Even if you're not verified yet, and this background right here, this is what the new platform interface looks like. I'm going to show you. But you can play with it. You can get all the good things about your business in here, which means you can start using it as a marketing tool. All right. You can get almost as much in here, I want to say, as your website. If you have a 1-page or less than 10-page website, I would challenge you that we could probably figure out a way to fit it into all these nooks and crannies I'm going to show you. All right, so how do I get there? Remember, I see those little 9 boxes up here in the top right corner? There's one there that looks like the traditional little Google Business Profile tent here. That's also called Edit Profile. I'm going to scan through these, tell you what they do, and then we're going to go into them in a bit more detail. The second way, I'm sorry, the second way you find your business on Google is to type it into the Google search bar, and then something looking somewhat like this will show up, and then your little profile card should be on the side. But these are the tools that Google swept out from under us and reinstated. And I think we've got just about all of them added back in. Edit profile, that's number 1 on the list. That's your hours, your location, your website, your tags, your categories, your services. Read reviews, that's where you get them and you respond to them. Down at the bottom, you can see ask for reviews. You put that in the footer of your website or on your invoices. You also have messages. Unless you are ready to stay, Google all the time, I wouldn't turn on messages unless you have somebody who's going to be monitoring them. If they're coming right to your email and you can jump on them, then great. Again, one more easy way for people to reach you. Add photo. Here's a pro tip. Name the photo back on the desktop with what it is. I mean, I love opening pictures and seeing the alt text say image 7982. Why couldn't it just as easily say Cheri's business, read reviews, for example? So name your photos what they are before you upload them, because the file names also can contribute to SEO. I'm going to talk about SEO and explain it in a little bit longer detail because AI is having kind of a big effect on that. So we'll talk about that too. Your performance. Oh, here's a great example of performance. Little bitty wine tasting place, Michigan products, really great stuff. In case you're on, I do love your stuff. But just didn't really have time or inclination to do the Google business profile. They had great Instagram, great Facebook. They were sending out event notifications. They were just rocking it. And I said, well, why don't you let me help you get your business profile? So we did, and we did all of what you're going to see here, set up and everything. And then I said, you know what? Let's go look at your performance numbers and see what those look like. And performance is analytics, insights, data analytics. Everybody calls it something different. How you tell what's happened and what you should do about it, basically. So we went and we peeked in their performance. And again, this is a place off the beaten path. You'd probably drive by it 5 or 6 times before. I drove by it twice before I found it. They had 9,000 Google interactions in the last 90 days. They had no idea. People were searching for them on Google Maps because they couldn't find them. I drove by them twice and I got my Google Maps and I'm searching them. And that's what's been happening with them, is that a lot of what they thought was Google My Business is now Google Maps. And so it's made it really, really great for you guys. Advertise, that's a different webinar. I do have a recorded version of the most recent Getting Started with Google Ads on my website or on my YouTube channel. Again, Hannah Gold Communications. Products, if I have a list of products here, mine has a list of services here, but this could be Rubber Ducky 1, Rubber Ducky 2, Rubber Ducky 3. This could be home care, home health care, Alzheimer's care, dementia care, transportation care. You can have a bookings button if you have a restaurant or I know waitlist is big, but you can also book this. I believe you can use this or add waitlist if you're a restaurant, but you can use this to book appointments for yourself, for your own business. People can book you through Google. Calls is cool. If you get a call from Google, it's likely to sound like a spam call, and it'll be like click, 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 pause. This is a call from Google. It is. It's the pass through, and it's really not very good. But it may well be a legitimate call. It could also be a spam call because people will look for you and then click something and then immediately navigate away from it and like, never mind. But it's important to know what they mean. And questions and answers, this is in one of my questions from today as well that was submitted to me. How do we handle questions and answers? You only handle the answers part. And if you look underneath this big blue box, you'll see the questions and answers place right here. That button that says ask a question, you send all your friends there and they ask questions based on SEO. All right. So search engine optimization. It's basically the Dewey Decimal System of the World Wide Web. If you want something to be found on your website, you have to say it. If you sell little yellow rubber ducky widgets and you have ducky on your website, not getting found for rubber, yellow, and widget. You're only getting found for ducky, and you're probably getting 80 million hits on ducky when you really needed rubber, widget, ducky. You needed much closer results. So what we call those are short keyword or keyword phrases like rubber ducky, which would work, or they call them long tail keywords, which would be plastic, rubber ducky, widget, near me, Chicago. And so that longer message, that's where the SEO comes with matching up. What are people trying to find? What are they saying about what they're trying to find? And how can I get those words on my stuff, on my website, on my Google? So search engine optimization is no more than just trying to determine, and you can do a focus group with 10 customers and they'll give you a whole list of this SEO stuff. A keyword or a keyword phrase is used to elevate your SEO or optimize your SEO. There are a lot of businesses coming out and saying, well, we get you to the top in the SEO results. That's not possible. There's no one that can guarantee to get you to the top, period. There's just too many other factors that they can't influence. But what they can do is get you higher in the search results. But you can do that too. If you ask 10 of your customers or 10 of your friends, what would you type into Google search if you were looking for my business? You're going to get 10 different answers. You might get 20 because most people will say it a couple different ways, right? Here's an example. I worked with US Golf Cars, which is a club car distributor in northern Michigan. And we knew that they're actually called golf cars. There is no T in the industry. So that was kind of weird because everyone else calls them golf carts with a T. So what we had to do, again, for SEO, which uses keywords to be found by Google, we had to use both golf cars and golf carts. So on our website, for an example, the list of keywords would be golf cars near me, golf carts near me, golf cars Michigan, golf carts Michigan, new golf cars for sale, used golf carts for sale, new golf carts for sale, used golf cars for sale. We had to get all those words in there or you're never going to be found. And that's the simplicity of SEO. It's not hard. It's just time consuming. And AI has done a wonderful thing in terms of understanding what SEO, what makes good SEO. I'm actually taking a website for a client right now who has a lot of old and outdated blog content that he wants to kind of refresh and retarget. We're running it through Gemini AI, which is, again, a Google product, and watching his SEO scores on the backside of the website go up because the keywording is better, the title is better, the header 1 and header 2, and I could go into all that. There's also a blog on my website about making websites. But you have to ask for those Q&As to happen, back to circle around. And update, this is post. This is basically just posting a post. And you can post the same thing you put on Facebook. You can post the same thing you do on Instagram. You can put your events on here. I'm currently marketing a local band, a regional band, and we've got all our events coming up on this page because you never know how many people will be there. Okay, that's enough. I beat that to death. So under that little blue guy, that little one that I said was the most important one, edit profile, this is what you get to change. So your business name, your category, here's where you get to change that from whatever it is to what you want. This is your description. I believe it's 170 words or somewhere around in there, might be more. Use them all. Look in here and see what she has said. Commercial, electrical, installation, repair, remodeling, and renovation services. Install light fixture, repair light fixture, install outlets or switches. Yes, it's a list of her products or services, but that's what she wants to be found for. If she can get found here, and she has these same key phrases and same categories on her website, she's golden because it's going to connect in the little Google bot brain. Google sends out little bots to troll the web, and it's looking for hits. It's looking for things that match that phrase, electrician in Detroit, the very closest. It's going to show those results first. Then it might show electrician near Detroit. Then it might show electrician Southeast Michigan. But for best matches, you have to have all those different combinations of search terms. Your categories fine, your description, use those keywords here. Obviously, your hours and more. If you're not open, you can actually put a forward-looking opening date. And I urge you to not be too worried about the exact date. No one's going to check it. Put your earliest. If you're a small business owner, you were probably doing business before you got your LLC. Go ahead and claim that. I don't see anything wrong with that. And more. So there's stuff under more that you'll be able to see. This right here is a payoff for a lot of my clients. All right. So this is new. This is attributes. And if you have gone shopping somewhere, had your phone, looked around and looked for a business, a taco stand or a dress shop or a gift store, likely you have seen some of these icons underneath the actual search result that it shows. It'll show these, probably didn't know what they meant because they're really new and they're very small. But you have a choice to self-identify as any of these categories that you like. Oh, this one's new. These two are new. Disabled and Latino, those are new. We had, I think this one's relatively new too. So you just do yes or no in that category. Now, do people shop like this? You bet they do. So if I'm shopping locally owned carpet cleaning, and I want woman owned, or if I'm shopping locally owned carpet cleaning and I want Black owned, I'm going to put that in my Google search. So those words are going to be on my Google profile and my website. Don't forget your website. Pro tip, Pointy. It's another tool. It allows you to add in-store products to your Google business profile. So you'd actually remember we saw that little column that said services and products. This would be the products part. You used to be able to just upload them manually and be good, but now you have to do an integration with Pointy. It's handy because people can look at it and actually buy it right from Google. So I do recommend that you check it out if you have a brick and mortar store that ships things or wants to sell some other things online. Remember, we can't have a fully e-commerce business. They don't allow that. But this is a nice addition to the free platform. What's next, Cheri? All right, we need to add photos. I already told you how to name them. So we're going to put our name in them, Hannah Gold, and then marketing strategy, or Hannah Gold and marketing in Michigan, or marketing social media Michigan, or so all those kinds of things. I'm going to name my photos. I'm going to name my photos. I'm going to name my images. And I'm not going to upload a lot of text heavy memes. So it's great if you have custom images that are reviews or customer testimonials or events coming up. But remember how small these are going to be, and don't put the whole chock full of every word you can think of Well, don't do that anyway in your image. Just don't do it. There's a full 1% of society that can't read a meme that's chock full of text like that because it presents on a computer or a device as a photograph. And e-readers and vision assist readers can't read a photograph. So it's best to put the naming into the thing, into the file name, and then you get a place that you can name the photo, then you can use what you want to call it. But again, if you're going to get to the top of the page, let's get some photos on here. You're not going to show up if you have no photos, no logo, and no cover photo. I think those two are pretty self-explanatory. You may need to resize your logo or put it on a larger white background. So this is a very small little square that you get. If that happens and your logo's too tall or too wide, then I would open either Photoshop or maybe Canva, and I would make a larger white background and then export that whole thing to use as a logo. And then the logo will fit in the middle and the white background will just give Google happy thoughts because they have to have their own size of everything. Cover photo, that should just be straight up photo, but logo has given folks a little bit of struggle from time to time. And what do you need for photos? I think we all know how to take pictures. These are the action shots. This is the money shot. You know, if I am looking for whatever this top right one is, Detroit Voltage, and she has a name on there, a ceiling wiring or whatever they did, I'm going to love seeing that. But you know how to take pictures, well lit, nicely focused. Show your brand if you can. Make sure you put your logo and cover photo in, and videos. There's also a 360 video option here, Street View and 360. If you look right under the name Detroit Voltage, different opinions on this. Some people use it to stand in the middle of their store and do 360-degree rotation. Some people use it to stand outside their store and do a 360-degree rotation so they can orient people to where their store exists in relationship to other practices or other businesses in that area. And then adding videos up to 30 seconds. I don't have anything much longer than that to say anyway. But that's a good place. And then here is, remember I said add update is basically the post, how to post. This is it. Just like Facebook, click here to add a photo. I typically click this edit button, this cropping button, just to open the image because sometimes Google crops something in the place I don't want it to crop it. So I need to check it, and I do that every single time. Two things you cannot put in, sorry, I'm always trying to double click. Two things you cannot put in here. That is your phone number or the URL that you want people to go to, because they built it in down here where it says add a button optional. It's not optional. This is known as a call to action. And this is the difference between push communication and two-way communication. So if I consider that optional and I just spit out that beat the Detroit Heat call today for a free estimate and hit post, I don't have a call to action. I might have said call today for a free estimate, but I didn't give them a way to do it. So you have to, even in your social media posts, if you want people to go read a blog or you want people to buy a product, take them to that page. I'll do a search for Nike women's pickleball size 10 shoes in red near me. And if they land me on the Nike homepage, I'm gone. And so many people will do their Facebook posts and they'll have great content, but it always just takes people to the homepage and then they have to do the work. So use this. There's several options. Call now, book now, learn more, buy online. There's a whole bunch in here, but I'm telling you, this is not optional. And it auto-populates your phone number, which is also really helpful, I found. What should we post? Remember I said there were three choices: updates, offers, and events. Update is what I typically post for people. And again, it's got a call to action. So see down below heat wave, there's a phone right there that says call. That's the call to action for this ad or this post. And I don't know what it's about, but if they're going to be out of power, they want to have their phone number right in front of people who, are scrolling through this. Here is an offer. So you get free shipping on reclaimed maple serving boards. then you can call if you need to, or you can go right to the website where you can buy that. So that's that view offer call to action. And here's a sign up call to action. Sip and Clip Vision Board Workshop. It sounds like a ton of fun. But these are the 3 different types of quote unquote posts that you'll be able to make. Okay, how do we get a hold of customers? 1, read and respond to reviews. Absolutely respond to them all, even if they're bad. Call the person by name. Thank you, Cheri, for the great 5-star review of CheriBales.com. We appreciate your time and we'll share it with our team. Please come back soon. That's beautiful, isn't it? But what if they hated you? Or even worse, what if they made it up that they hated you? And there's a really good example of this. You're basically stuck. The short answer is Google doesn't take down Google reviews. So, but there was a time that the Michelin 5-star Restaurant Association was being blackmailed by some hackers who were threatening to post horrible reviews on all the Michelin 5-star restaurant pages on their Google business profile, right? What we're looking at right now, it was that important to these hackers. And they put them up there, and then they sent their restaurants a ransom letter, and I think they wanted like $30,000 to take them down. So that the Restaurant Association went to Google and they said, you got to help us here. And Google said, we don't take down reviews. No, wait, you don't understand. This is like a pandemic and it's killing us and it's terrible. And Google said, all right, in this one case, we will take all your reviews off. And that's what happened. So they lost all their reviews. It wasn't that these are the bad ones. They were like, we'll take them, whoosh, gone. So be careful what you ask for. How do you respond to a negative review? Hi, Cheri. Thanks for reaching out. That doesn't sound like our typical customer interaction. Would you please call the store at this number and ask to speak to this person? And then you're done. It says, I'm not apologizing because I don't really know that what you're saying is true or on scale to what actually happened, but I am engaging you, and other people will see that and go, oh, they're not afraid to like take on the negative comments. And then if it actually elicits a call, then that's great customer service, right? So you want to do that anyway. And then I also mentioned messages, and I mentioned Q&A. You get your friends to ask the question. And now that we know what SEO means, and then we go in there and we answer the question. So a question for this company might be, do you do residential wiring? I mean, it seems really simple, right? But if somebody's typing a search on Google, they're going to type the words residential wiring, or maybe even Detroit, residential wiring, Detroit. So you get the chance to answer, yes, we do residential wiring in all of Detroit, including breaker boxes and blah, blahs and post this. And so you can really take advantage of having more keywords in your reviews and your Q&As if you answer them. Holy cow, where are we? Oh, I already said this. Once your profile is verified, you can respond to your reviews. Always respond. I like to call them by name, and I like to say for the 5-star review of Detroit Voltage, because people are going to look for what? Reviews of Detroit Voltage. Okay, so it makes sense. Be professional. Don't apologize like out of pocket. Just don't. Don't try to advertise. Thank the people who are there. Tell them you're going to tell the person who waited on them or the person who did their repairs. Tell them, I'm going to share this with Joe. He'll be so thrilled. And it's real people you're talking to, and you're a real person, right? And then again, if there's issues, just ask them to reach out to you. Here, you can share that link. And I remember I showed you there was an ask for reviews button on that dashboard. That's what this does. And it will give you 3 choices. It says get more reviews. You can copy this. You can share to your Facebook. They really like WhatsApp, or you can send it via email. And then to get messages, you can respond to those. Like I said, if you want to, you can turn on messages, and it's like any other messaging platform. As long as you are monitoring it, it could be good, or it could be 800 emails saying your profile is in violation and you're going to get shut down today, which also is not real. Not here, not on Facebook. You don't get a warning. It just goes away. So you don't even worry until it goes away. Don't even worry. But I did notice some folks are getting a lot of these, but both, well, we can raise your SEO, we get you the top of the search results. Yeah, I doubt it. And then your page is about to be taken down, or there's another one, your Google business profile isn't correctly verified or set up. It's not going to come in Messenger, okay? You can just pretty much consider that not real wherever you're getting it. If Google wants you, they'll find you. They'll come to you through your email account. They know how to find you. Then remember I mentioned performances, analytics, insights, whatever you want to call them. This shows me that over 7,000 people were shown my business profile from November to April of 2023, November 2022, 23. I can also check calls. If you go scroll with me along that top line, I can check messages. I can put bookings. I can click directions. Why do I care about how many people click directions? It shows in marketing world, it shows an intent to visit, which is a lead generation. So at that point, it's up to you on the other end of the business desk to track, oh, where did you hear about us? And they go, oh, on Google, which they all do. If you can get deeper information, great. But it's really nice reporting. It's kind of calm, kind of easy to look at. Remember, I mentioned those three dots at the top right where you would add a new profile. If you have a business with more than one location, you are entitled to have more than one business profile. There used to be a way to put like, not chapters, branches of your business, but I think now you just add a new business profile, and that will get you to where you need to be. And then the help center, not too bad, but the YouTube videos are pretty good if you get stuck. Okay, so what are you supposed to do now? You're going to claim or finish your Google business profile. And that means if you got to send your verification through again, go ahead and do it and wait for it. And if you got to, if you got to do it by video, bite the bullet, say, all right, you guys help me out here. And they will, they'll walk with you. And then all those things that I just showed you, you can pretty much update any of those things. You can update the products, the services, the photos. You just can't go live until you're verified. All right, so then if you already have a business profile and it's sitting out there unloved and uncared for, well, start reviewing and updating your business information. Maybe that About Us section doesn't have the words Chicago Crane Company in it. If that's what your differentiator is that you want to be known for and found for, that's what you want. Add your business info, photos. I don't think you can add too many photos. Don't do them all in the first day though, because Google likes to see activity on the profile. It shows that it's real. So you can add them, a few every week and get an update maybe once every week or every 2 weeks. They stay there for some time. And then look at your performance and see what it shows, because you've got all those different platforms coming in. Before I go to questions, I would be remiss if I did not mention two things. One is the subscribe to YouTube button up here. You won't get a button, but you can probably jot that down or screenshot it. And then Google has now, and South Haven Region Business Hub has recently been approved for, offering a series of Grow with Google certificate programs, which are sufficient to gain entry-level employment in any of these areas. It's very specific. You can only do these. But I did the data analytics one myself and I cried. I'm a B- student, I'll admit it. But it was just fascinating to go through. And these are absolutely free, and we get 100 of them to give to our clients and subscribers. All right, questions. Debbie, do we have any new questions coming in? Don't forget you're muted.
Yep. So aside from all those ones you received ahead of the webinar, the one is probably typical because you got this one before, is what is the recommended number of postings that you should do?
Posting,
Yeah.
like
Should you do
under
like
update.
weekly, twice a week? How many times?
You know, this one once a week is great because it doesn't go away. It stays there for 7 days. It's not going down in the feed like your other social posts. It's just there. When somebody searches for you, your page comes up, you look down at the bottom, there's your post. So 7 days, 14 days, either one of those. It depends on the type of business. If you're a retail that's got stuff going on every week, then post once a week, post twice a week, post every day. It's just what you want people to see when they do this Google search for you. That's important. Okay. I think I've
So,
answered how to get to the top. What else you got?
do you want me to read some of these that were posted ahead of time?
Mm-mm. I have those.
Okay, so
Uh,
the other ones, and I'm
okay.
going to ask this other one because about an LLC and she hasn't started yet. I'll answer that one
Okay.
separately.
Okay.
Oh, here's one. I own a locksmith business and have been suspended.
Your Google business profile.
I've been in business for over 20 years in California and opened a business here in Michigan.
Okay. Um, get in touch with me offline, whoever you are. I have had some luck with getting accounts unsuspended. Typically, it's because we've used some words that we shouldn't. Gun is likely, ammunition is likely, Alzheimer's, dementia, anything that claims a medical claim or an alcoholic claim or the bad things. And you might not even recognize it, but get with me offline. And then if I can't help you, I can send you up the ladder to my Google support team. Let's see. Can I have more than one account? I think I answered that. Businesses that are not retail that sell to commercial customers. If you have an office like mine in your home and you do business and you print out receipts and you ship out things, maybe even, or you do online paid training like this, then you would qualify as a business. Commercial customers, that's kind of a gray area, but if you can in any way prove that people would come to you or that you would go to them, then I think you'd be good there. Answered how to access the latest Google. Yeah, remember, you can just type your business name in there. I don't have a budget. I have a question from someone that doesn't have a budget. This is free. This is all free. The only time you want to start paying is when you set up Google Ads, and you do need one of these to get Google Ads. So if you start to go down the pipe to get Google Ads and you get rejected, that's why. Services, how quickly do those convert to leads? Well, it's not just the Google business profile. It's what happens after they get there. Is there good content? Is there keywords like we talked about? Is there a link to the website? Is there a contact us form on the website? Is there a sales funnel in place? So the Google profile is the top of what I call the sales funnel. And it literally looks like a funnel. You have thousands of people up here and then your buyer down here. This is way up at the top of the funnel for a lot of businesses. It's also in the middle of the funnel for several types of businesses, like where should we eat dinner tonight? And then it's at the very bottom of the funnel with people typing in Torty Tacos, Marshall, Michigan. So your ability to address people at all levels of the funnel is what leads to more business. And in a service-based industry, you have to be reaching out and communicating, doing things like webinars, posting blogs and sharing them, having a presence on LinkedIn, getting some certifications. Mine aren't rocket science. They're fun to say I'm a Grow with Google partner and I'm a constant contact trainer. All of those are fun things that anyone can do as a service industry. Find the ones in your niche and get certified or credentialed or recognized, and then get that word out to the world through your platforms and give them a chance to get back on the website and make a purchase decision from you, which we call, once they hit contact us form, that's making a purchase decision or generating a lead because it shows an intention to do business.
Hey,
Um,
Cheri,
yes,
someone is
ma'am.
asking if they can use a P.O. box. I don't think they can they?
May not. No,
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. They will now let you use some of these fake address places. There are places that will actually give you a street address to use. But no, they really want a business. You can be inside a business. There's a location option that said this business is in like suite 3 of this other business. You can do that though. Yes.
Yeah, there are businesses out there, like I know some here in Michigan that you can have a workspace, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, and so they'll let you use their office as
Yeah,
an
that's
as
part of
their
their, yeah, part of their
yeah,
incubator or shared workspace. Yeah,
shared
that's what I thought.
workspaces.
Yep, that's right.
Sign up for those. Those are good ideas, guys. You know, sign up for a shared workspace. They're very reasonable. I don't, we're in Michigan, Cheri and I, but wherever you are, there might be shared workspaces that allow you to use their addresses
Yeah,
for a
they're
very
locally
reasonable.
like $300 a month on the low end and all the way up to 800 for conference rooms and snacks. So you get the whole month and you get the conference room and snacks provided. So should we add additional materials to the Google business page, blogs, etc.? So how in the update, every time a client of mine has a new blog or something new goes on their website, they get a Google business profile post saying, hey, here's my new blog. Now go learn more or read more. And it brings them back to my website. And at the end of that blog article is how to get in touch with me, how to buy that product that was there, how to book that service that we were talking about. So yeah, adding anything to this page with the goal, the end goal of driving people to the website where they can make a purchase decision. What key factors should you have and what key factors should you not have? Oh, I like this one. My first negative would be your address doesn't agree with Google's. If you put your address in and it's different than what Google says it is, don't arm wrestle, just give up. Just use the Google address. So that's going to be a big one. If it doesn't match your website, doesn't match your Facebook, doesn't match your whatever, that's going to be a really, really negative. I think it would avoid making any sort of medical or financial claims as well. I don't think investment people do very well with these pages because they're really limited. So for example, I have a home care agency, not home health care, but a home care agency, no medical at all. And we still get dinged every few months. They're like, oh, you're medical. No, we don't. And then we have to go to Google and say, we're not medical. And eventually they'll release our profile back out. So be careful about making claims. Read the terms of service. That's always a good place to start. And we'll tell you what you can and can't do. Best practices, lots of things with your keywords, whether it's in the about section, in services, in your products list with pointy, attached as updates, in questions and answers, in reviews from people that you've responded to, all of that. And then I did have a question about Google Voice Search. You don't need to do anything for your business to be found other than, and this is the brand new world of SEO that I mentioned I would tell you about, other than guessing what silly words are going to come out of our mouths when we hold that phone up to our face and say, it's gonna do it if I say it. Say, hey Siri, find me a horse groomer in Calhoun County, Michigan. And if that website has horse groomer in Calhoun County, Michigan, somewhere out there, that's the result I'm going to get. You don't have to do physically anything. Now, there are services that will list you for the things like the Amazon and the other devices and stuff. But to just be found for your business with a voice search like I just demonstrated, you don't have to do anything further than have that page and have it verified. Debbie, do you have any other questions?
Here's one that says, what changes made to your profile will cause Google to initiate a re-verification?
Anything you do with the actual name can sometimes trigger a need for re-verification. If you change address, you will probably need to re-verify. Shouldn't be too hard if you change the address in your information. That's only really the two things I can think of.
The only other question I seem to, oh, can you take down photos that other have posted? I think you already addressed that one.
Well, you can take down photos you've posted, but I don't believe the way to determine is to go into their Google Photos and look at the photo image. And then if there's a trash can, it's going to be at the top right-hand corner. And you can delete that. If it's a photo that infringes on your rights or libel or slander, you may petition Google to have it removed. And that would be my only other option. Oh, this little QR code, I should have told you what that was. I wrote out 14 days. I used to be a teacher at Western Michigan University, so I love curriculum design. So I wrote out 14 days of marketing, and each day has its own little bits and pieces. There might be a video and a blog and a worksheet. And so if you'd like, it's totally self-guided. There's no end of the class, oh, you have to pay me now. It's just for fun. But you can go there, log on the website, and then anytime you want to access it, just come back and hit that same register button. It'll pop right up for you. But if you find anything you really like, let me know. If you find anything that's wrong, let me know, because I really like to get those things repaired. I mentioned the labels not being the same. I mentioned physical items. I think unless there's more questions, I think that's all I had. And more than one account retail, get to the top. Yep, that's it, Miss Debbie. So with that, thanks for joining us. Again, I'm Cheri Bales. The organization is South Haven Region Business Hub. We are in the South Haven, Michigan regional area, but we do provide content on our website as well. And if you liked this webinar, I get points from Grow with Google, so feel free to share your feedback. You should receive, as Debbie said, in the mail in just a few days, a list of the recording. A recording, it'll be published on my YouTube or South Haven's YouTube, I think mine. And then also the resources. Yeah, and then the resources that were available. And then if you have other questions, you've seen my email enough times, you can find me, and I'm happy to hear from you and to try to help you get to grow your business with Google. And that's it for today, folks. Thanks for joining.